Going to get this out of the way at the beginning. Does Pixel Shopkeeper embody the spirit of Racketeer? Yeah, not really. Racketeer was an influence, no doubt, but the mechanics of haggling and dungeon exploration are missing. In some ways, Pixel Shopkeeper is a simplified version of Racketeer. To me, that's a positive. There's no way someone can emulate the magic of Racketeer. I like the influences, but I'm happy Pixel Shopkeeper is its own game. The main gameplay loop is first running dungeons to get items. The attacking part is all automated at the top of the screen. The items that drop show up like they're on a conveyor belt in the middle. You must decide if you want the item and where to put it in your inventory. This is a more interesting inventory management system than typical menus. So after you get your items, you need to set up your shop. Place the items on tables and start your day. People swing by and buy something. You can influence customers by clicking on them. The birds and tumbleweeds are also interactable and give gold. Dust will collect on your tables, so make sure to click that as well. The day ends and you can decide to set up shop again or take time to go to the dungeon. At the end of the week, you'll need the gold for a debt repayment. That's the short version. Let's cover the nuances screen by screen. The inventory management on the dungeon screens is straightforward. All items have their own shape, which take up blocks in your inventory. You can rotate them before placement to get the perfect arrangement. It's a little like Tetris. Dungeons have different effects on the loot once placed in your inventory. In the desert dungeon, the items sink to the bottom, like sand. The ice dungeon makes them freeze in place, because it's ice, you know? There are only 6 types of dungeons, so there are only a limited amount of effects. Once you loop through, a more difficult version unlocks, and you start from the beginning. Bags come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Pixel Shopkeeper has a large selection ranging from more typical bag shapes to a heart and a wizard hat. Ones that are shaped like a bag let you fit items into the strap, but weapons and armor are too large. It's bothersome. You can never quite fit the drops the way you want. As you progress through the dungeon, the items get larger and more difficult to fit. It's lucky then that some bags have special squares. Yellow squares teleport your item to the shop inventory. Blue squares sell an item for 75% of its worth. These effects happen instantly, and then the space turns into a normal inventory slot. The bag shapes and dungeon effects keep it interesting. I found that it's pretty easy as long as you're quick. Although I have left items on the ground. Unless defeated, you'll always leave a dungeon with items, which makes the game less punishing. Your enjoyment in this part of the game will come from placing and sorting those items in your inventory. The shop part of Pixel Shopkeeper has a bit more depth. Available for sale are all kinds of decorations and enhancements you can buy for your shop. Even picking the tables is important, so the items you place there sell for more gold. I'm surprised at all the options. One weird item is the roof shingles. Some of them are decorative, and one of them applies a discount to dungeon entry. In a game where there's a financial deadline, I can't imagine buying the one for looks. I don't really need black roof tiles that bad. Luckily, the clock doesn't start until you finish setting everything up and start the day. Begin the selling! You don't have much control after it begins. You can click on birds and tumbleweeds to gain free gold. Make sure you click on the tables to clear them of dust. If you click on people, they're more likely to buy in your shop, but it slows them down. Closer to the end of the day, they might not even make it to your shop. It's pretty mindless though, in almost a mobile way. There are quite a few things I like about the game. Planning a shop and trying to manage the money is enjoyable. The threat of loan payments at the end of the week force you to choose where you want to spend your money. New tables and decorations means you need to manage your shop space and plan your shop expansion. I expanded way too quickly and wasted a lot of money on empty space. It's all there though, running a shop and enhancing it to get more customers. Everything you do in the shop affects your main goal of paying off the loan, which gives it the most impact when playing. That's why I like it more than the dungeon areas. Pixel Shopkeeper turns into a grind fast. It has no surprises once you get going. It's only compelling to keep paying down your debt. So do the loop, get items, sell items. New tables and decorations for the shop unlock, but it's all pretty typical. This table increases armor sales, this table increases weapon sales. Okay. You can't screw up a dungeon run. They get repetitive, but you're guaranteed loot, so it's more of a waiting game to get to the end. That means the shop screen needed to provide the delight and surprise. One of the things that separates fine, good, and great games is novelty. Pixel Shopkeeper combines elements from different games that brings an initial wow factor, but it dims. It takes a few hours to realize that you've seen everything the game has to offer for the near future. Paying off the loan takes too long to get to new gameplay. Random events that are interesting and change your sums of money would have been a good start. Or maybe some side quests that are silly or weird. Anyway, I never had a problem selling the wares. Sometimes customers walk by and give you items and free gold, but it's confusing. Why would anyone give a shop owner something free? Hey shopkeeper, I brought you this white piece of paper. Cool, you crafted an item from it? Here's my money, take it! Pixel Shopkeeper wants you to build a personal relationship with customers. Sell 5, 10, 15 items to mages, and they become friendlier. That doesn't make any sense either. As far as I could tell, everyone liked me no matter what I was stocking. This system is not given enough substance and has limited feedback. I might catch an unhappy face, but it was never very clear why. Everything is happening so fast. The speech bubbles mix information and random thoughts. I wish there was a customer response summary at the end of the day. If it could be incorporated back into the gameplay, it would give an improved personal connection with the customers. You would need to play to the trends and their feelings. I don't have much to say about the music. As far as I can tell, there are only 3 songs in the entire game, and you just heard them all. I was expecting the game to expand further after finishing paying off the loan, and it doesn't. From what I can tell, it allows you to keep selling and making a profit. I don't want to spoil it too much because some people might enjoy the mindlessness of Pixel Shopkeeper. I got into it for the simplicity, and it turned into a slog. I think for some it could be fun. Those who are part shop designer, part Tetris fans, Pixel Shopkeeper just does not capture your heart the same way Racketeer does. It's simple. In that simplicity, it can have a wider audience, but at the cost of complexity. No judgment, but I'm thinking the bejeweled crowd. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you found it informative and interesting. Please leave a comment if you did. Thanks.